What's going on YouTube? It's Brazen back here with another video for you guys. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys want to hit a like down below, subscribe if you guys are new here, and leave a comment letting me know you subscribe so I can welcome you to the family. And that being said, cue intro. What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Shinobi Striker video for you guys. Here today I'm going to be going over my combat battle defense build that I think is pretty good, and I will just kind of explain it and explain why I use everything. So we're going to go ahead and just hop right into it. So the first thing I use is the scientific ninja tool, and it's the double moon. Personally, I think it's the best. You can see basically what happens is your hit rate goes down, but your speed goes up by 1. It just has better combos in my opinion compared to something like the shark skin, right, or the executioner's blade, right, which are all pretty good as well. Samehada is a pretty popular one if you don't have this. Obviously, I don't know the name of it, but the blue double-edged sword, in my opinion, is better than the purple one. But the only one I have is the double moon, so that's what I use. I think blast bomb is definitely the best, pretty much for any game mode. I think for combat battle, you definitely could switch it out for Rasengan. But personally, I just think Blast Bomb overall is really good because you can make them fall off of, you know, the scrolls or the side of the thing, get them out of the way, whatever the case is. I think it's pretty good, and it does a good amount of damage. So I think Blast Bombs are very good on the defensive build, just in general. For my costume, I use this one, the Fukuro or whatever it's called. I just think it looks kind of funny. But what I use it for, the top skill, I boost the secret technique gauge charge speed. That's so that way usually I can get my secret technique at least once in the combat battle, as long as I'm at least playing decent. You know, the reason I like that is because obviously depending on what the ultimate is or how close the game is, it definitely could change the tide of the game. And then I boost my max health. Since it is my defensive build, I want to be able to stay, you know, around longer. And then my accessory skill, I use lower an attacker's defense for a period of time when you reflect their attack. So if you block and you click R2 right when they attack you, right, and you reflect it or whatever the case is, it lowers their defense, which allows you to hit higher. In my opinion, that's pretty cool to have as well. You know, so I think it's pretty cool. Those are all obviously interchangeable. That's just what I personally use. For my ninjutsus, I use Demon Hunter. So this is a user is cloaked in a demonic aura. It performs a charging upward strike. It also prevents flinching from attacks for a set period and recovers health by the amount of damage caused. So what I usually do is I use this obviously with the Hazan Strike right here, which is the 8 trigrams Hazan Strike. So you use this first. It deals damage to enemies in a straight line, reduces their substitution and secret technique gauge. So you want to use this first, and then while you're fighting them, you want to use the Demon Hunter because it basically keeps you from flinching. So if someone hits you with an ability or, you know, shuriken, whatever the case is, you don't flinch. So it's super useful to keep your combos together. And then also with that, you recover health. So, you know, once you use, they have no substitution, you start attacking them, you can start healing your health back with the Demon Hunter. It's just super overpowered. I still use the substitution jutsu. For my defensive build, this is definitely one that I would say you could switch to something else that stops people, right? So you would want to use something that, you know, stuns somebody or something like that. I personally just still don't use it just because I think that's the best. And then for the ultimate, there's a lot of different options you can do here. So I use the 8 trigrams 128 palms. They receive damage and their secret technique gauge is reduced. I like that in this game mode because you know, if they're close to their secret technique and you lower it kind of at the last minute, you know, even if you don't get the kill or whatever the case is, it still might be super useful for you guys to win the game. The other ones I think are very good. Obviously, Reaper Dead Still. I've been having a lot of problems with the tracking of it. It's been missing a lot, so that's why I kind of stopped using it in the combat battle at least. You know, I still use it in different game modes, but for combat battle, you know, it is good to play 4v3. I think it's definitely huge to have that advantage still, but I just personally stopped using it because the tracking was so bad in my opinion. Water Prison is also pretty solid because it does empty their substitution and does damage to them and paralyzes the targets, but personally I just think it's better, the ones I use. And then the new one that was from Boruto Karma, which is the Linchpin. This one could be good because the movement speed and secret technique gauge is reduced and the substitution ninjutsu stock is reset, but you have to kind of have like 2 or 3 people in it for it to really make sense because you're basically charging up. You can still take damage. They just can't use their jutsus and things like that inside of it. But so that's why it's super useful sometimes, but I personally just like the 8 trigrams better. So hopefully this does help you guys out. Drop a like on it, subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell. As always, I will see you guys in the next video.
Okay, here goes.